Well, hello, it's 2012, it's 2nd of January, it's the new year, so Happy New Year to everyone. And I thought, in keeping with the spirit of New Year, I would do a video on detox. And I wanted to separate the sort of the snake oil from the science, as it were, because there's a lot of sort of pseudoscience and myth that goes on in both camps, and I wanted to, just kind of give my opinion on it, really. So, I get into a lot of debate about this because there are, I have a foot in both worlds. I work in sort of the holistic health side of things, but I'm also very scientifically minded, and I research a lot of science and read mainstream science articles and that sort of thing. And there's a lot of people in the sort of pro-science camp that are like, there's no such thing as detox. The body does it itself all the time. Nothing you do to your body, no diet or product or herb or whatever, does anything at all. Your liver and kidneys do the job for you all the time, automatically, and there's no need to do anything special. And they're partially true. And then you've got the other camp, which is the sort of holistic health movement that promotes, different diets and herbs and treatments and fasts and all sorts of random things, such as drinking olive oil and lemon juice and some quite horrific concoctions sometimes. And, there's a lot of expensive products out there, and, in places, certain well-known health food shops, you can buy like whole sort of detox kits with different herbs and things like this, and some of them are quite expensive. They're, some of them are about £400 and things for kind of like a 1 week or 2 week kit to detox you. So, I can appreciate why the science community is kind of up in arms and saying this is all nonsense, it's all snake oil, it's all rubbish. And, quite right, because some of it is, quite frankly, rubbish. Not everyone who works in the health field is a nice person. Some people are just in it for the money that can be made from people that will pay anything to believe there's a magic bullet out there that can make them healthy. Of course, that's not true. There's no magic bullet. So the science camp is right in the fact that the kidneys and the liver and everything do work together to detox your body, on the other hand. However, they do miss out a very important point. In order for those systems to work effectively, we must be healthy already. A healthy body by default is one where all the systems are working correctly, and that can only happen when the body is in sort of a state of optimum health already. For example, the liver cannot detox alcohol while you're still drinking. It can only do that once you've stopped drinking, which is why you can still be drunk, the day after you went out, because say you stop drinking at midnight or 2 in the morning, only then can the body start, the liver can start to detox the alcohol you've ingested, and it only can do about 1 unit per hour. So if you've had 10 units, it's going to take another 10 hours after you've stopped drinking for the liver to metabolize and detox that alcohol and actually get it out of your system. So if you were an alcoholic, for example, and you drank all the time, your liver could not detox that alcohol because you were constantly putting it in. And the same principle applies to anything. If you are still smoking, your lungs can't detoxify. I mean, it's well known when people give up smoking, there's a period of several months where they keep coughing up all manner of nasty bits of lumps of brown and green stuff, where the lungs have started to do its self-instigated process of detox because you've stopped putting the toxins in. So yes, the body does detoxify itself, but only if you're not putting the toxins in all the time. So with food and diet, there is no magic food that will detox you. This is true. However, if you're not eating a healthy diet, if you're eating a diet full of toxic material and synthetic chemicals, then your body cannot do the process of detoxifying itself through its own mechanisms, because you're constantly putting the stuff in. It can only deal with so much of it, of it at a time. If you liken your liver to a garage, and your garage is like an overflow of your house, and every year you put more boxes in that garage. Well, eventually that garage gets full unless you're also taking stuff out to go to the charity shop or whatever, and you're not keep putting it in all the time, you're going to get to a point of sort of critical mass where your liver and your kidneys are overburdened by the sheer amount of toxicity in the body. And that's when, we see a sort of problems. We could look at a lot of degenerative diseases and put them all down to, sort of auto-intoxication, where the body's literally filled with its own toxic waste because there's so much being put in that the eliminative channels and the detoxification organs just cannot cope with it anymore. So a detox diet is not a special diet with special foods that make you detox. What a detox diet is actually a way of eating, or it should be a lifestyle, really. It's not just food that toxifies you. It's your skincare, the air you're breathing, all that sort of thing as well. Even like how you feel about yourself and your thoughts as well. Whether you exercise or not, these all have to be taken into account. So a detox diet would not be a specific product or a specific herb or a quick fix. It would be a lifestyle change where you slowly sort of detoxified your life, so you just weren't putting in all the rubbish constantly over and over. Your liver isn't a landfill, it's an organ, and it does a lot of other jobs too. It produces enzymes, it works for metabolism, it's got a lot of work to do, so don't overburden it. It's otherwise it won't work properly. So and also people think that detox means the removal of a toxin. Well, that's not exactly how the liver works. It transmutes toxins into slightly less toxic toxins so that your body can then flush them out via the bowels or the bladder and kidneys. So when you, a good example actually is the metabolic waste products of protein digestion. When you digest protein, a lot of ammonia is formed in the body, and this is very toxic to the body. So what happens is your liver produces chemicals that will actually transmute, it will change that ammonia into urea, and that urea is what gets passed out into, obviously, via the urine, hence the name. So an organ of detoxification is not so much an organ that removes toxins, it actually just changes them so they can then be eliminated. So it's not, again, a lot of people who voraciously go on about, well, the liver does this, end of story. Well, yeah, to an extent, but there's even some things that the liver can't do. There's lots of man-made chemicals that have only come onto the market in sort of the last 50 years, and even less. I mean, we've got new things coming all the time that we'll find out that the liver won't even know how to, sort of transmute those chemicals, so they'll end up being stored in our fat cells instead. Which is why when we do go on a kind of, I'm trying to think of a better word for a detox diet, when we go on a kind of a low toxin diet, we often feel ill because, as fat is lost, those chemicals that have been stored in there, those toxins, actually are released into the bloodstream to be dealt with. And this is why you end up with like spots breaking out, feeling sick, bad breath, sort of strange smelling urine, and these symptoms can occur, and then that's when people go, oh, eating healthy just made me ill. And then they go back to eating the sort of junk that they were before, which is a real shame, because these systems are in place with purpose. You don't want the junk being stored. You don't want a garage full of junk. You want a healthy body of functioning organs. Detoxification happens regularly through your liver and organs of elimination, nothing getting clogged up and backed up. And the only way to do that is to live a healthy lifestyle all the time. In things like, there are some known toxins like cigarette smoke has no safe limit. There's no safe dose of cigarette smoke, for example. So, if you really want a healthy lifestyle, there's no good smoking and drinking all year round and then going on a 1 week detox, spending £400 on a load of special herbs. What is the point of that if you're then going to just go, and carry on the lifestyle you were. There's no magic bullet, there's no magic product. In this sense, the scientists are right. There is no magic plan or product or herb or anything that will take a toxic body and like that detoxify it. It doesn't work that way. It's a whole lifestyle approach which involves your own organs sorting themselves out. I mean, from a naturopathic principle, we would say we get out of the way of the body and let the body do its own thing by stopping putting in all the stuff that harms it. So that is what a real detox is. It's your body doing it because we've got out the way and stopped putting in the toxic air and the water full of chemicals and the alcohol and the cigarettes and the junk food and sitting in front of the telly for 8 hours a day and not moving our butts. I mean, the lymphatic system is a part of the whole elimination and detox systems of the body, and lymph is doesn't have its own kind of like pump system. It's done by gravity and by us moving. So if you're not moving around and exercising at all, then you're going to end up with a sluggish lymph system, which is going to hold on to those toxins as well. So I hope that makes some kind of sense. I know I've kind of rambled a little bit because I just had the idea to do this, so I've kind of done this off the cuff. You know, if you're really interested in how the body works, I really suggest really studying some human biology and looking at, you know, the way the liver and the kidneys all work to detoxify the body, and also look at some naturopathic references as well that show you that, you know, to make these systems of the body work, a healthy lifestyle is what keeps them working. So it's a kind of like a cycle of self-instigated constant detox that your body does when you're providing the right materials in the body in the first place to keep that system working. Don't think your liver and kidneys will sit there detoxing you forever if you're smoking 20 a day, drinking, taking recreational or pharmaceutical drugs on a regular basis, eating junk food, sitting on your bum. It will all break down and you'll end up with sort of, you know, diseases that come about from auto-intoxication, which sort of like autoimmune diseases are kind of linked to that. So, you know, look after yourself, and you look after your body and it looks after you. That's as simple as it gets. You don't need to spend loads of money on special products. You don't need Snakeoil, but you also don't need mainstream scientists telling you, oh, do what you want, the body detox itself, because that's not true either. Just keep putting in the correct materials that you need: healthy food, natural food, fresh air, sunlight, plenty of sleep, plenty of exercise, the basic things. You know, it's not a magic bullet, it's a lifestyle choice. So make the right one in 2012, and you know, no matter what happens, if the minds are correct, then if a big cataclysm happens, then at least you'll be healthy and ready to, you know, deal with that. So healthy body, healthy mind. Enjoy your January. Bye bye.